Hello everyone again, and we are going to do one review problem. That's a problem from chapter 2. It sounds really cute and easy, and there is a variation which is slightly more complicated. So you want to convert a number of seconds to minutes. Or let me just use right away to hours, a more sophisticated version, minutes and seconds. So 400 seconds is 0 hours, 6 minutes and 40 seconds. Okay, so how do we know this is actually true? There is, in 1 minute, there is 60 seconds. How many 60s fit in 400? Do the long division. Just remember how to do the long division. If you don't, 400 divided by 60, you will get 6 and you will get remainder 40. All right, so we will remember a couple of things here for conversion. Actually, maybe I should, let me do it this way. 60 seconds equals 1 minute. And also I want to remember that 60 minutes equals 1 hour. In other words, 60 times 60 minutes, seconds, equals to 1 hour. So another example then, so that we have so let me type up something like this. What is 3700 seconds? First of all, 60 squared is 3600. That is 1 hour. And 100 seconds. 100 seconds is 1 minute and 40 seconds. So that is what we would like our program to return. So it's all about integer division. If you remember long division as that you did as kids, that is about what we need. So how many 60s fit into the number of seconds? That would be your number of minutes. But before we do the minutes, maybe we should do the hours. Okay, so ask a user to provide us a number in seconds. So we are going to work only with whole numbers. So seconds will be equal to input, enter number of seconds, integer. Oops, I don't know why I'm working in Notepad. Sorry about that. Silly me. I'll just copy paste to an idle shell. All right, so in idle file open, file just new, and here we go. That's what we had. Okay, seconds. First of all, we need to compute the remainder when we divide the remainder and the quotient when we divide by 60 squared. Okay, so 60 squared is 3600, as I was saying previously. So let me introduce the variable hours. That is my seconds divided by 3600. Okay, cool. So we found how many, in this way we found how many hours are in the number of seconds that we have. For example, in 3700 seconds when we divide 3700 by 3600, do your own division, you will get 1 as a quotient, and also 100 seconds as a remainder. I'm gonna call it rem1, remainder 1. Maybe I'll use the whole word. Remainder 1 will be seconds. Remainder 3600. So after we counted all possible hours in our number, there is some remainder seconds. So remainder should have some minutes and some actual seconds. So minutes will be, guess what? Stop the video if you are following along and figure out yourself. It's gonna be remainder 1 divided by what? First of all, double division, that is integer division, by 60. And remaining seconds, sorry, I need the underscore in between. Remaining seconds equal to remainder 1, remainder 60. And we are done with our computation. So all we do here is basically fit how many full hours fit in our number of seconds that we entered. For example, 1 hour fits in 3700 seconds because 1 hour is actually 60 squared 3600 seconds, and so on. And we keep dealing with the remainder. So remainder of division by 3600, that is a number of seconds which we should convert in minutes and seconds. And yep, I think that should work, and all we have to do is make ourselves a very nice printing statement. Print seconds is hours then minutes. And by the way, there is a better way to do this printing statement, but it's not in the book. I'm not going to use it. The so-called F notation. Minutes. I should have comma somewhere in the printing state, in the string. Hours, minutes, and I'd say and in here, because why not? So I'm still continuing my statement. Remaining seconds comma seconds. All right, let's see if I did it right. Oh, I have to save it. Convert seconds to minutes. No, I don't want to, because that is a blank problem. Okay. Enter 3700. 1 hour, 1 minute, 40 seconds. Magic. What else do we want to enter? So basically you run it enough to believe that it actually works. 0 hours, 1 minutes, and 19 seconds. Okay, I believe that. So this is a little program. You can find it actually in chapter 2 in the text. If you are a book person, you have read it and you probably found something similar over there. Feel free to compare their program with this one and say which one do you like more, and how you could improve it. For example, also little challenge, include the days. If there is like a huge number of seconds, you can first convert it to days, then hours, then minutes, then seconds. So about this division and remainders, that comes up very often, and it will come up in our class. So you guys should know this is something that programmers do, even though for particular issues of time there is a nice package for Python. You still from time to time do this, checking whether something is even or odd by looking at the remainder, or just converting in some form like this. All right, and now it's time to introduce the homework. Well, as you should be able to see at the time when the week is due, first of all, I do recommend you finishing the programming jobs paper before doing anything else. This is really, really, really important. And after that, somehow I don't see my game of numbers, so I will probably swap this two over. Okay, never mind, you will see this thing. You will definitely see this thing. A game of numbers in week 2. Yes, we are in week 2, chapter 3. And let us open it. There is a lot of conditions, a very long problem. So don't be intimidated. Slow yourself down enough to read this enough times. So there is some introduction. It's a game about division of numbers. And this game would involve divisibility and remainders. By divisible by 9, that means remainder when divided by 9 is 0. In that case, divided by 9 and print a result, unless the number is also divisible by 5, in which case you just print the original number and also comment that, like, do some printing thing just for fun. And is divisible by 3 but not 9. Okay, so is divisible by 3 but not 9, then divided by 3 unless, and there is some, so read it 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and for your convenience, I actually wrote that program. I ran it 5 times on these inputs, so I had to rerun it 5 times, and this is the output that it was created. So input an integer number, I input 90, and the answer is 90 is a favorite number. So when we look at our cases, if the number is divisible by 9, 90 is certainly divisible by 9, then divide it by 9 and print the result, unless it is also divisible by 5. 90 is divisible by 5, in which case just print the original number, and that is what happened over here. So read these outputs, and surely to you it may look like a lot. And it's not a point to panic, it's a point to read it a few times and begin thinking how you can do it. And over there, all the way is down. Here is a big hint. So the reason why the problem formulation is so long. First of all, this is a very big hint. You don't have to exactly comply with this way the output looks, but it should be something similar in the end. But what is a big hint over here as well is what do you need? Input function. Don't forget to convert string to integer. You will need if, elif, else statement, embedded if, else statements, and you will need to be good with integer division and remainder operators. Okay, and one last thing, you might need to design an easier program first. And that goes back to our concept of problem solving. How do you solve problems? You don't always begin by solving whatever your dream problem is or whatever your goal problem is. You look at this program by yourself, you look at this problem, and you think how you can make it easier and still capture some of the features. And making it easier, forget about this. Also, forget about that. And do without. So this is an easier program. Ask a user for an integer number. if the number is divisible by 9, divisible by 9 means remainder by 9 when dividing by 9 is 0. And then print the result. And then print the result. And in that case, print whatever needs to be printed. So this is a simple if else statement. As long as you caught the previous part about remainder and integer division, this should be a good beginning and a good approximation of the whole problem. So don't try to do it at once. Don't try to get it in a rush, and give yourself enough time to think about it, ask questions, and start from the easier version of the program. If you guys like to send me your code, you can send me your code. It's better to do it as an attachment. You can send it on inbox, but it's better to do it as an attachment because sometimes beginners have trouble with indentations. And I think inbox, if you just copy paste into the inbox message, it will ignore the indentations or do something like reformat the indentations in some strange way. All right, that is your program, and let me know how it goes. It does look intimidating. The resulting program is not very long. So basically, on top of this program, after you are done with the easier version of it, you will need to do inside another if-else statement. So if also divisible by 5, if in the first case, if divisible by 5, you do one thing. If it's not divisible by 5, you do another thing. And that's it for this week. And I'd like this week to be longer. So maybe it's going to be like 10 days for you to try and practice and take in the whole logic of if then else. And if you master this program, you do it by yourself. That means that you are in a good shape in that regard.